You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
Have all voted who wish. Please take the record.
This was a scene yesterday in the Illinois House of Representatives. A cheer going up as lawmakers passed a bill allowing same-sex marriage in the state. Good evening, I'm Taylor Burl. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Sabrina Bennett. After a 61-54 vote, Illinois became the 15th state in the country to allow gay marriage. Here on NIU campus, the reaction is loud and clear. First from faculty who advise NIU's LGBT program.
It's a kind of much more complicated thing than just the 40-year-old man being able to marry his partner. It's going to trickle down all the way to 12-year-olds and 16-year-olds not feeling ashamed anymore and being much more willing to be in touch with who they are.
NIU has an LGBT studies program. It also has a resource center in the Home Student Center. Students we spoke with today call this a breakthrough for gays who just want to be an equal part of society.
It means that there are so many families that can finally have the authority of marriage behind them, backing them.
Be able to have that just because they're with someone of the same sex or someone just that doesn't fit that traditional sense, it's incredibly important to finally have that.
But I'm more sad of the fact that it had to be passed, that it isn't something that is automatically just a part of it, because it's just further proof that we really have privileges, not rights, because rights can't be taken away. And
In other news, if you own a car, you may have something on it that you may not know a lot about, but it's becoming very valuable to some people and they're stealing them.
Catalytic converters are being stolen and sold all around DeKalb. NTC reporter Alan Kazu shows us why this is and why they're being stolen.
People usually think of feeling pain at the pump. Well, recently, some people have been feeling pain at auto repair shops like this one after a string of catalytic converter thefts left them holding the bill.
Outside Kishwaukee Community Hospital, the eye-in-the-sky security cameras keep a constant watch. But that apparently wasn't enough to prevent the string of catalytic converter thefts from the employee parking lot on October 16th. Police say these thefts took place between 2 and 9 p.m., and that time was most likely chosen to avoid raising suspicion.
A typical person isn't going to think that a criminal will be out at 10 in the morning in Walmart parking lot burglarizing something or stealing something from the bottom of another car.
Catalytic converters are valuable because of the precious metals they contain. They can be sold for scrap or installed on the same model of car. A catalytic converter can be sold on eBay for as much as $70, even if it doesn't work. For a thief, it's a quick buck, but for a victim, it's a few hundred to a few $1,000s in repairs.
This is what all the fuss is about right here. What a catalytic converter does is convert exhaust that passes through it into less harmful gases. Without one, you'll have a lot more pollution, a failed emissions test, and a hefty repair bill.
Police believe the converters were removed with some kind of electric saw, but a mechanic that worked on one of the cars says the cuts on the vehicle look more like they were made with a small pipe cutter, like this one. It makes less noise and doesn't take that much more time.
Easy to get, easy to cut off. It's a 5-minute job. Quick money if you're a crook.
Now, there are some insurance policies that cover all or part of the cost of catalytic converter theft, but someone with liability-only insurance would end up footing the bill all alone. For NTC News in DeKalb, Alan Kozlu.
Police are asking anyone with information on the thefts to contact DeKalb County Crime Stoppers at 815-895-3272.
NIU is still fighting to get one of its police officers fired. Kartik Ramakrishnan is accused of covering up evidence that could have helped exonerate another NIU police officer charged in a rape case. The police department reprimanded Ramakrishnan, and a review board said they had already taken action. NIU couldn't fire him after that. The university is appealing that decision in court.
An NIU student who was afraid for his life is now sitting in the jail after being arrested with over a half a pound of weed. Police arrived on the scene after two DeKalb locals, Eric Hess and Tyler DiGaetano, threatened to kill the Pronto's pizza delivery driver, Sal Scardina. In the Pronto's parking lot, Eric and Tyler argued with Sal over drug money. Police say that they found 7 ounces of cannabis and $526 in cash was found in Sal's car. Police later discovered that Eric and Tyler were selling drugs from their house. A search warrant was issued for their home where cannabis and over 50 suspected ecstasy pills were found. Sal Scardina posted $140 bail and the others remain in DeKalb County Jail.
Well, back here on campus, even with the addition of the 2 new dormitories, NIU has seen a decrease in students who stay in the dorms after their freshman year.
NIU thought they had a plan that would stop the decrease, but NTC reporter Mark Neal takes a look at why they have reconsidered the plan.
As students keep coming in and out of the residence halls, NIU is taking another look at whether they should have to stay in the dorms even longer. Back in 2012, former President John Peters announced a second-year residency plan that requires sophomores to stay in the dorms. NIU has said the main goal of the residency requirement is to increase retention rates, but students have had mixed feelings towards the plan.
The reason I got so much out of my 4 years now was because of my 2 years in the dorms.
Your second year, you always meet friends and you always want to move into an apartment and pay apartment together with your friends. I think that's better.
Landlords are concerned the plan will increase the vacancy rate and affect the DeKalb community.
If DeKalb and NIU is seen as a safe, thriving community, both parties benefit. So NIU and DeKalb need to work together on this.
The Department of Student Affairs here at Alcald Hall was not available for comment, but they will be meeting with President Baker next week to further discuss this plan.
If NIU decides to keep the residency plan, it will begin in the fall of 2015. In DeKalb, Mark Neal, NTC News.
Other universities such as Illinois State, Western Illinois, and Southern Illinois University have already adopted a second-year residency plan.
Well, sure is nasty out here today, you guys.
A typical fall day in DeKalb. Brittany, is this weather going to stick around?
No, thankfully, no, it's not. The rain is actually going to push out of our area today. But that same storm that has dumped all this rain on us here has dropped snow on others. Parts of South Dakota, Nebraska, and Minnesota saw 11 inches of snow yesterday, and the snow is already breaking records this season. Sioux Falls, South Dakota got hit with nearly 6 inches of snow overnight. That's about 4.5 inches higher than the daily snowfall record set back in 1959. The city usually doesn't see an inch or more of snow until just before Thanksgiving. Thankfully, we dodged the snow this time, but we all know the measurable snow is going to hit DeKalb in the near future. But on a good note, let's see how the temperatures look for tomorrow. We are going to see temperatures in the upper 40s to mid 50s with sunny skies all over the area, thankfully. Some areas like Rockford, DeKalb, and Chicago might see gusts up to 20 miles per hour, but overall it should be a beautiful Thursday. For more on your week's weather, stay with us. You're watching NTC News Tonight.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and
Welcome back. I know today was crummy out. We had a lot of rain, crummy skies, all of that, but we did see a high of 42 degrees. Now that is definitely a temperature drop than what we were used to this week. Tonight we're going to see a low of only 28. That is definitely below our normal average temperature for this time of year, about 5 to 10 degrees. Let's look at the radar. Currently, the storm is finally pushed off to the east, lingering a little bit in Chicago and southern Illinois. We'll see a little bit of rain, but that will push off out of our area, thankfully taking the rain along with it. Now, this is what we saw as the rain pushes out of DeKalb. We're going to see these overcast, cloudy skies. It's going to leave it pretty dreary and kind of sad. I know this rain upsets me and the dark clouds as well, but this is what thing that I definitely didn't like this morning, waking up to the colder weather. I was getting used to the 60s still. but we saw temperatures drop down to the 40s as this cold front pushed through our area. It is going to continue to push through the east throughout Wednesday night, Thursday, and Thursday night. They're going to feel the cold temperatures as well. Let's look at this weekend. We are going to be in a nice, dry area. Pretty much all the country will as well. We're going to see as we have a high pressure system in our area. Now, the only areas of concern that we are going to see is Florida might get a little breezy, a little bit of rain and thunderstorms in their area. And up to the north of us, thankfully, we have this jet that's going to push through our area, and that's going to keep everything north of us. Now, they are going to see more snow, more rain, and even colder temperatures start to push down through their area. So thankfully, we are going to be below that jet stream. Tonight, we're going to see clouds start to clear as the system pushes away. We're going to see a low of 28 degrees. That is very cold. Winds are going to start to pick up. Tomorrow, we're going to see beautiful sunny skies with a high of only 47, but it's not too bad. The gusts will be up to 20 miles per hour, so it might feel like 45 degrees or so. But definitely get out and enjoy tomorrow because it will be beautiful, sunny, and we needed it after all this rain. Tomorrow night, clear skies again, a low of 27. I suggest closing your window before you go to sleep at night because you don't want to get sick with those cold air and those cold temperatures coming in. Not so good. On to my 5-day forecast. All I can say is look at this. Sun all week. Beautiful. No clouds, no rain. It's going to be great. Thursday, we're going to be in the upper 40s throughout Friday as well. We might see some showers Friday night on into Saturday morning, but those will end by 7 in the morning. Nothing too crazy like we've been seeing. We're going to see a high of 55 on Saturday, so get out and enjoy the day. It's going to be the best day of the weekend because temperatures are going to drop Sunday to 47, remain in the upper 40s through the rest of the week and into Veterans Day. Now that's it for weather. Let's send it back to the desk.
3 people are dead after a fire in Arlington Heights.
And the governor is picking a date to sign the new gay marriage law. These are today's state lines.
3 people are dead after a house fire in Arlington Heights. A police commander says the fire began around 3 a.m. this morning in a 2-story home, and the cause of the fire remains under investigation.
Governor Pat Quinn says he will sign the same-sex marriage legislation we've been talking about sometime this month. Quinn has told reporters the ceremony will take some planning, and he wants to make sure people who work to pass the legislation can be there.
Chicago's culinary community is remembering renowned chef Charlie Trotter. Trotter was found dead in his home yesterday, just more than a year after closing his famous namesake Chicago restaurant. His wife called him a trailblazer who introduced people to a new way of dining.
Illinois State University officials are investigating how $18,000 was stolen from Hancock Stadium. The theft was reported Saturday after ISU's football team beat Northern Iowa. The university police chief says the concession money was being stored in a room at the stadium in Normal. And these are today's state lines.
A New Jersey shopping mall is reopening today after a shooting.
And Chris Christie wins big in New Jersey. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch.
Westfield Garden State Plaza in New Jersey is reopening today, following a shooting Monday night. Authorities say 20-year-old Richard Shoup entered the mall around closing time and fired at least six shots before killing himself. No one else was injured in the shooting. Police are still investigating the motive.
Also in New Jersey, Governor Chris Christie easily won re-election last night. Christie is seriously considering a run for the 2016 Republican presidential nomination.
Bill de Blasio will be the first Democratic mayor in New York City in 2 decades. De Blasio sailed to victory in yesterday's election. He becomes the 109th mayor of New York City.
The Muslim Brotherhood is once again banned in Egypt. An Egyptian court today dismissed an appeal challenging the ban. The group's assets have been frozen and their political wing, the Freedom and Justice Party, has also been banned. And that's today's World Watch.
Now, I'm sad to say there was no football press conference yesterday because NIU, they don't play until next week against Ball State, possibly the biggest MAC game of the year so far. Now, we will have the latest from Rod Carey and some of the players next week here on NTC News tonight. Now, speaking of next week's game, NIU will be wearing some new threads for military appreciation. Now, if you haven't seen them already, here is the American-themed uniforms. Jerseys include the stars and stripes of the American flag. And now after the game, all of the uniforms will be auctioned off, and with all the proceeds going to the Active Heroes Foundation. And NIU isn't the only Illinois team repping the military appreciation uniforms. Northwestern from Evanston will be wearing their version this Saturday, but their design has a little bit of a controversy. The color uniforms have some people just seeing red, saying the uniform looks like it is splattered with blood. But in a statement published on ESPN, Northwestern says the distress pattern was inspired by the appearance of a flag that has flown proudly over a long period of time. Now, like NIU, the uniforms will be auctioned off after the game, with their proceeds going to the Wounded Warrior Project. And bad news for Packer fans. As you know, Aaron Rodgers has an injured collarbone after his first drive Monday night against the Chicago Bears. Now, team doctors say Rodgers will be out 4 to 6 weeks with a hairline fracture in that collarbone. The team also says Rodgers will not have surgery and will try having the collarbone heal on its own. Now, just a side note, players who have suffered the same type of injuries did not return at all for the remainder of the season, including Tony Romo in 2010. And speaking of injuries, Jay Cutler was expected to miss 4 weeks with a torn groin injury. He said Monday that he will play this weekend against Detroit. Now he has backed off of that a little bit, saying he's not sure if he will be on the field on Sunday. Bears backup Josh McCown has played exceptionally well over the past 2 weeks, so it wouldn't be a surprise if he gets the nod to start under center. And back here at NIU, men's soccer fell to Western Michigan last night 2-1. The Huskies have lost their last 4 games. And if you're looking for some Chicago sports action tonight, Blackhawks and Bulls are back for the first time in a few days. That's all I got for you with sports. Let's send it back to the news desk.
Coming up, move over, guys. There's plenty of room to romp around at this Elks Club. We'll explain.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Even Elks like to have a little fun. Greg Chase and his wife saw this sight outside his Colorado home Monday morning. A young elk got curious about the trampoline in their yard and decided to jump in. Other elks gathered around the trampoline and appeared to be trying to help. Eventually, it managed to find its way out.
Well, that elk looked like it was not having a lot of fun at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it looked more like he was trying to stomp right through the trampoline, but I don't know. Well, we want to thank you all for being here with us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back the same time Monday, and thanks for watching.
Goodbye, everyone.